Hey, 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 hey. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Word Power Wednesday. How are you guys? Listen, I'm ready to get this party started. I'm going to just kind of go over a couple of things because I know people will show up a little late, but hey, we're going to start and they can be on the replay game. So I pray that everybody's had an amazing day. I know it's the holiday season and we are holidaying. Some people are relaxing and resting on the couch, living their best lives. And I love it. I love it. This is a season of closing out one year. And just being honest, I know my theme is you can begin anytime you want to make changes in your life. You don't have to have a new year to decide that you're gonna, change the path that you're on in your life. But there is just a natural excitement that comes with a brand new year. Hey, I like new years. I like new weeks. I like new months. I like all those new semesters, new quarters. I love it. So there's something to be said for fresh starts and new beginnings. And so I teach Happy New Year now, meaning you can start your new year anytime you want, but there's a natural start when we start a new year. So I pray that this is a season of reflection. So in a couple of days, in 2 days, in my group, the Success Squad, will be going over just reflecting for the year and getting ourselves prepared and goal setting for the year ahead. And so this is a season that I pray that we're doing the holiday things, and enjoying the festivities. I did much better at Christmas than I did at Thanksgiving because I did not cook. I did not cook. I went to my mother-in-law's house and she did all the cooking. I just made one dessert versus Thanksgiving where I did all the cooking. So as I'm cooking, you're nibbling and doing all the things. So my Christmas eating decisions went a lot better than my Thanksgiving eating decisions. So I pray that you're enjoying your family and the holiday season, but at the same time, I pray that there's some reflection in there and a spirit of expectation, anticipation for what is ahead. All right. So I kind of want to go over how we even got here and why I started this thing. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this every Wednesday, Word Power Wednesday. And the reason I had this idea was when I was in college at the Jackson State University. Yes, the Jackson State University. I have to tell that story, but when I was in college at Jackson State, I believe it was my freshman year because this seems like a very elementary course to be taken, but I took a course called Word Power. And I remember thinking, what could this class even be about? Like just learning words? Like, I don't get it. But that was actually the name of the course, Word Power. Y'all, my vocabulary grew so much in that. Like, I learned words like ubiquitous and omnipotent. And I mean, it was just like these words that, like, I'll never forget the words that I learned in that course. And I've always had a love affair with words and what do they mean in reading and language and all of these things. Little known secret, when I became a teacher, I really wanted to be an English teacher. I really did. I became a teacher to become an English teacher because I wanted to help people enjoy reading. Uh, and the job that was first available for me was not an English position. So I got but I still was able to infuse reading and literacy into teaching social studies, but my heart was for language. So I talk to a lot of people every day. I do a lot of talking, coaching, consulting, and talking to people all day long. And one thing that always stands out to me is the way that people talk to themselves and about themselves, right? And you'll be in a conversation sometimes and we'll have a tendency to say something to ourselves that's just like, who are you talking to? Like, you talking to God's child like that, right? And I know that the person who's saying it, they haven't given it a second thought. And so what I know is that we've got to be very mindful of the words that come out of our mouth, especially when they are related to us. All right. And so we do a lot of things like, these habits of words that you say, they're ingrained in you. And It's on autopilot. You're not really thinking about it. It's subconscious, right? And I just want to submit to you that we can take time to think about what we're saying before we say it. And so when we do that, we really get to examine like what is the real meaning behind what I'm saying, because I submit that what you're saying is not so simple. All right. So every week I want to choose a word. It could be so I believe the words have power. So you literally create your life with the words that you say. All right. The word, I didn't make it up. That's Bible. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. So you either create life or you kill things with your words, right? So that's the reason why we can't afford to be careless and just allow things to come out of our mouth without thinking of them. So every week I'm going to choose a word that it could be a word that breathes life into you, but it could be a word that's limiting you. Okay. I'm going to do it every week. So this week's word is can't. Can't. So when I looked it up, it literally is a contraction for the word cannot. I was looking like, could it mean anything else? Have any more like hidden meanings? And it doesn't. It just means cannot. It also means not able to. So when I looked up that, I'm like, ooh, the only thing that came to my mind was limitation. All right. So the first thing I want to clear up and kind of say before I do anything is the word can't can be used positively and it can be used negatively. Okay. So you can say, I can't do this, or I can't go on, or I can't stop doing this, or I can't achieve it. Or you can say, I can't lose, right? I can't fail, right? So you can use it in a positive way. So I want to be clear about the fact that I'm aware, but I want to be clear that what I'm talking about today is the ending of using this word in a way that limits you, that stops you from doing what God called you to do. All right. So if you're using it in a positive way, keep doing it. You are winning. Don't stop. Keep going. Okay. So if you are like, I can't lose, yep, keep talking like that about you. But I'm talking to the person that says, I can't do this anymore. I don't know how. I can't do it. I can't achieve it. I can't lose weight. I can't get this job. I can't make this money. I can't. Okay. I'm talking to the person that talks about what they cannot do and what they are unable to do. That's the person that I am talking to today. All right. So before we really dig into this, I want to talk about why is this important. So the first thing I need to acknowledge is that we are, as humans, we all have limits. So there are some things that we need to do that within our human strength, we will fall short and not be able to accomplish. Okay. But the word says, like, that's for sure. But the word says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Right. And so if it's something that God intended for you to do, he is going to equip you, or he's going to send you the people or the resources to help. He's going to give you the strength, the people, the resources, and everything you need to accomplish it. All right. So I'm not like glazing over our human limitations. Like just because I have the desire, if I wanted to lift, a 500-pound weight, I would not be able to do it. I am unable to do it. I cannot do it. But God could send me people or resources that will help me to do it. So it's possible, right? Just not in my limited strength as a person. Okay. The last thing that I want to say before I kind of dig into this, I want to talk about how to change the way you think. I want to give you a couple of tips on how you can choose different words. All right. And it's a process of thinking. All right. It's very simple. The enemy loves it. Okay. He is excited and happy and feels successful and fulfilled when you doubt God and you doubt you. So anytime your focus is on the lack of power, like things that disempower you, he has you right where he wants you. All right. You are exactly where he wants you to be. And he's like, yes, got him. All right. So the enemy loves it when you doubt what you can do. And he loves it even more when you doubt what God could do. So that's the danger in using this word. Using the word can't, right? It really it focuses more on what is not possible than it does on what is possible. So I want to give you a simple way that you can start thinking, and you will remember this from childhood. All right. I'm going to do a series too. I got another idea God gave me called They Didn't Teach Us This in School. I would admit to you, they taught you a lot in school. You was probably coloring or writing notes to your boyfriend or your girlfriend when it was being taught. And school not supposed to teach you everything. So there are some things that you're going to remember that they did teach you in school. So one thing that I know we all learned in school was the concept of who, what, when, where, and why, and how, right? Those 6 questions, right? When we're writing a story that we need to ask. Listen, when you want to use the word can't, or you feel limited, or if there's something that you cannot achieve, this is what I want you to ask yourself. I want you to think who. That's the first thing. I want you to stop attempting to do it on your own. Stop trying to go at it alone. Stop trying to do things in your own strength. All right. Not only do you have a supernatural strength in your Heavenly Father, right? But this is also why it's important to live in a way that is interdependent. All right. I might be telling on myself about my younger years, but I know Boosie is singing INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? I know the world say no new friends, be independent, do it on your own. That is not God's, that's not what God intends for us to do. All right. God's intention for us is to live in interdependence. Now, I know people, right? I know people, and people can be peopling sometimes, right? I know people. And so this is why we have to learn to develop our skills for how to do relationships with other people, right? So that we can live in interdependence. Let me be clear on what interdependence is, not dependent, all right? Interdependent means a mutually reliant, being mutually reliant on each other. So a mutually reliant relationship. It means I lean on you and you lean on me, but we lean on each other in a mutual way. All right. So there may be seasons. So I have relationships where there's seasons where I may take more deposits. I may need them more than they need me, but I'm always going to give more than I take. Right. And it should be an exchange. Right. So in my closest friendships, we have an exchange where they're depositing into me and I'm making deposits into them. Right. So relationships involve a series of deposits and withdrawals, just like your relationship. So I want you to think about, I remember talking to somebody once and they were saying, if I were stranded, I don't know who I could call, right? And so if you find yourself in that position, I want you to really think about and start working on where are you making deposits. Now, sometimes we could be making deposits with people who don't have the capacity to make deposits back to us. And you would have to make a decision as to whether or not you want to continue that relationship. But get you some mutually reliant friends. All right. So when you feel like you're unable to, you simply cannot, you can lean on God, but God has sent you so that you will have people around you that you can say, okay, this is not something that I can do. So if I needed to lift 500 pounds, I would just call like 10 of my friends and be like, hey, can y'all come over and help me do this? Right. So who are the people that you can call? So instead of saying, I can't, say, I might not be able to, but who can? Who do I know that can? Is it my Heavenly Father, or is it a person or some resource or something that He sent to me? So I can't, but who can? All right. So don't use it as an excuse that just because you're not able to, that it doesn't have to get done. All right. The next thing is what? So remember who, what? Ask yourself what? All right. So just because I can't do what it is that I want to do, right? So maybe I want to leave my job and start a business. Okay. Maybe you want to leave your job and start a business. Maybe you want to be a millionaire. So the truth is you might not be able to leave your job today, right? But if God has placed it on your heart that you should be an entrepreneur, I want you to ask Him real hard, did He ask you to do that? Because everybody who want to work or don't want to go to their job shouldn't be an entrepreneur, okay? But ask God, did He call you to do that, right? And because you can't leave your job today, that doesn't mean that you can't do nothing, right? So just because you can't do what you want to do, right, or what needs to be done, it doesn't mean that you can't do nothing. So ask yourself, what can I accomplish with the skills that I have right now? What am I able to do with what I have right now? All right. So we have these dreams, we put them on the shelf because we don't see how I can lose the 50 pounds or how I can make the $1 million or how I can find this spouse. But what is it that you can do with what you have right now. All right. Once you get that thing, just start taking consistent action. Not this starting, stopping, starting, stopping. Just start taking consistent action. Keep moving forward because you can always do something. You can always do something. Not only can you always do something, God expects us to always be doing something. I didn't make it up. The word said, be what? Fruitful and multiply. All right. Fruitful means produce, productive, right? So God expects our productivity. He expects us to be doing, not just sitting waiting on the Lord, right? He expects productivity from us. So, what can you do now with what you have? And it might not be the end goal, but there's something that you can do now. So ask yourself, what is that? What can I accomplish with the skills that I have right now? All right. So we did our who. All right. Maybe I can't, but who can? Who can help me? What can I do with what I have right now? All right. Next is when. Okay. Sometimes we're going through a challenge or something is challenging. And really, the truth is, we might just need more time to learn. The truth is, we haven't mastered it yet. The truth is, we're working every day to get better. The truth is, we don't necessarily have all the skills that we need right now, right? But when you recognize that there's a win, like I can't do it right now, but there will come a day that I will be better than I am today, then that requires you to consistently and constantly be developing and getting better. All right. One thing I never think we should be, one thing I never think we should be is settled in where we are. So I don't care how old I get, I'm gonna be getting better every day. All right. I'm gonna be in 90. I'm gonna be 90 years old, still trying to figure out how can I be better today than I was yesterday. Okay. So we should be constantly developing and getting better. So there are some things that you need, or some skill sets that you need, or some things that you don't know now that with some time and some getting better and some development, you can do it. So I want you to think about, what can you do today that you could not do this time last year? This time last year, I did not have a YouTube channel. Yeah, here I am. Yet here I am on December 27th, right? With a YouTube channel with some subscribers, not as many as I want, but some, right? So what can I do? Go talk to them, make some videos, right? A year ago, getting on YouTube is just something I thought would be nice to do. The same with Instagram. A year ago, I was in the Instagram, and I'm not an Instagram guru, but I'm for sure better today than I was yesterday. All right. So there's something that you can do today that this time last year you couldn't do. There's something that you can do right now today that 3 years ago you weren't able to do. You didn't have the skills to do it. There's something that what about 5 years ago? There's something that you can do today that you look back 5 years ago, you couldn't do it, or you couldn't do it to the level that you're doing it right now. All right. 10 years ago. So the point is that you have grown, you have developed, you have evolved, right? And here you are today. And so if you take the attitude of, when you encounter something that makes you feel limited or question your ability, right? Or if you're able to do it, because that's really all the word I can is saying, you're questioning your ability. You're questioning your ability and God's ability. Can I do this? All right. So the answer could be, today, I may not have the skill set. All right. Today, I may not have mastered this thing. Today, I might not know everything I need to know, but give me some time. All right. All I need is some more time so I can learn what I need to learn. All right. Because the principle, right, is consistent growth and development. Always be growing and developing. This is why personal development is so important. You should never get to a point where you feel like, I've arrived, I know it all, the way I am is the way I should be. Now, there are some things about you that might stick, but you should be always open to possibly something that you don't know. This is what I tell people all the time when they come in. Come in as a student, like be a forever student. All right. Because as much as you might know, like we might be really smart people, there's always something you don't know. There's always somebody who knows something that you don't. So you can learn something from everybody. So approach life, the day, the world with an attitude of, I'm going to constantly be growing and getting better and developing. So whatever it is that I find difficult, or I find a limitation, or I struggle to figure out how to do today, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. All right. So when I started this YouTube thing, my family could tell you I was around here like, and I'm a talker. I'm literally like, oh, what am I going to make a short about today? What I need, Lord, give me something to talk about. Right. And don't you know, when I started developing, now I have a habit of capturing these thoughts and ideas that he gives to me, and I get a whole lot of downloads, like more downloads than I could potentially. I would be on YouTube all day just talking about things that God gives me. All right. So just know that who, what, when. It might not be you, that you might not be able to do it in your own strength, but God will send you somebody, or God gonna help you, and He gonna send it through people and resources. All right. What There's something that you can do right now, even if it isn't exactly what you want to do. You just need to take consistent, forward moving action. When you might not be able to do it right now, but you keep growing and developing, you're going to look up a year from now, you're going to be closer and better. All right. The next thing I want you to ask yourself is where. Ask yourself, is the place where I'm trying to do this thing that I feel limited? Is this the place that I should be doing it? All right. Sometimes the reason that we are experiencing difficulty is because God is expecting you to transition out of one place into another. So I will take relationships, okay, because it's a nice, safe topic. Yeah, I'll take relationships, okay. Sometimes I've had relationships where I've known the person for many, many years, right? And I feel compelled, because I'm a loyal person. I feel compelled to hold on to the relationship because we've known each other for a long time, right? And so I'm pouring, I'm giving, and it doesn't seem like it's making any difference, or it's not being reciprocated. It's probably because God isn't asking me to pour here, right? That doesn't mean cut the person off and be through with them, because He expects me to love. It's the commandments. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. We're supposed to love everybody, but that don't mean I get equal pouring into vessels. All right. And so I have to ask myself sometimes, okay, is this where God expects me to be doing this thing that I find difficult to do? So if you find it difficult to do, is this where God wants you to be doing it, or is He asking you to? And that's only a conversation that you can have with your Heavenly Father and Holy Spirit. All right. It's not something I can help you with. It's something that you literally have to ask God. God, is this where you want me to be? Is the reason I'm experiencing this difficulty? Is the reason that I'm experiencing the difficulty because I'm not supposed to be pouring here? All right. Is this why I have the limitation? All right. So we got our who, we got our what, we got our when. Do we do when? Yeah. Our who, our what, our when, our where. Next is why. Why? Okay. All right. I want you to ask yourself, when you feel limited, why does it matter if I do this thing? All right. So let's take this a relationship. Okay. Why does it matter if I remain, or if I salvage this relationship? Why does it matter if I start this business? Why does it matter if I save this money? Why does it matter if I serve in my community? Why does it matter if I declutter my house? Why does it matter if I get healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? All right. Because once you understand, remember, they say the willpower is better than the why power. So if I'm clear on why it matters, there's a strength that comes from being very clear on why it matters. So ask yourself, who's depending on you? Why does it matter? I want you to also ask yourself, why would the enemy want you to fail? All right. So if you got a dream of starting a business, or advancing your life in some sort of way, or earning income in a different type of way, why would the enemy not want you to do that? Why would he want you to never see that thing come to pass? And what happens if you never figure out how to do it? What happens if you simply say, I just can't, and you stop? What happens? So why does it matter? There should be a strength that comes to you from understanding that the enemy wants you to never figure it out. He wants you to feel stuck, frustrated, and sit there and say, I can't do it. That's exactly what he wants you to feel. Doubt. She don't believe she can do it. She right. And he wants you to settle for an average and regular life when God promised you abundance. It was a promise, abundance. All right. So there's our why. Why does it matter if you do it? Who is affected if you don't? Why would the enemy want you to not do it? All right. What happens if you fail? All right. Last one. How? I want you to, instead of saying, I can't, think about saying, how can I? All right. So a lot of times whenever we start, I think about when I signed to my this coaching and mentoring program, and there were meetings like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I already had a full evening schedule, right? And it was tempted. And I know that there were some people who came through this program with me who said, I just can't. I can't meet on Tuesday and Thursday. There was homework that we had to do. So we would learn on Tuesday. We practice on Thursday. There was things that were outside the Tuesdays and Thursdays because you had to get an assignment on Thursday and prepare for the next week, right? But the whole time I'm saying I want to be a certified coach and speaker, right? But this is a huge time commitment, all right? So the spirit in which I made the time commitment, it felt great. Woo, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to change my life. And when you get in the thick of all the things you have to do in real life, and then now I'm basically back in school, right? I'm studying on Tuesday, I'm studying on Thursday, plus I'm preparing speeches, doing all these things, right? It's easy to say, you know what? I can't make it. I'm not going to be able. I want to challenge you to say, how can I? Look for what's possible. So, what can you do? How can I? What adjustments do I need to make, right? So that I can do it. All right. Even if the doing it don't look exactly like what I said it was going to look like. All right. Look for what's possible instead of seeing what's impossible, how it can't be done. Think, how can this happen? How can I do it? All right. I heard Myron Golden say, and this might not be his word. I'm a big believer in giving people credit. So I heard it from Myron. In my head, Myron gets the credit. Myron said there's two sides of every coin. You get to decide which side. He said, you ever seen a one-sided penny? He said, no, there isn't one. He said, there's two sides of every coin, right? You get to decide which side you're going to look at. All right. So I could look at the sides and say, yep, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to achieve this thing. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. I don't have the people. I don't have the energy. I don't have the faith. I don't have it. All right. Or I can look at the side and says, I might not be able to do it exactly how I want it right now, but how can I work towards this particular goal? All right. So these are things I want you to pause. When you hear the word I can't come out of your mouth, I want you to immediately, I hope you catch it before it comes. I need you to catch it before it comes. But if for some reason you never catch it before it comes, I definitely want you to evaluate, the who, the what, the when, the where, the how, and the why. All right. And then I challenge you to think differently. So I want to share with you some synonyms for the word can't. And if this don't make you stop using it, I don't know what will. Okay. Synonyms: helpless, impotent, inadequate, incapable, not able, powerless, sidelined, and unfit. And so when I read these words, what is clear to me is this is everything that the enemy wants me to feel about myself. This is everything that the enemy wants me to believe about my Heavenly Father. He wants me to believe he can't help me, right? He's not enough, inadequate, not enough, all right? He's not able. He doesn't have the power. He's sidelined, so he's not the forefront, and he's not suitable, unfit. He's not a good fit for my life. This is exactly, all of this sounds like what the enemy. So this is what I'm telling you. Whenever you want to change something about your life, the first place the enemy is going to attack you is in your mind. All right. So when you open your mouth, those words are coming from here. They start here first. And so I want you to start to talk into yourself to say, like, you can do it. I can do it. Not in my strength. I'm so clear that Tanisha has so many shortcomings, so many limitations, so many things that if it was just up to me, I would run out of steam quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right. But when I depend, when I ask God, so another thing that I want to add, when I ask God, so this is what I do when I start feeling like, okay, there's a lot going on here. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I pause and I say, God, show me which of these things I'm supposed to be doing. Because everything that I can put on this list ain't what you expect for me to do. So, Lord, show me where the priorities should be. And when I take the time to hear from Him, He directs me. And somehow, you know what happens? The other stuff just works itself out. Because the truth is, I'm not that deep. God didn't plan for me to be doing everything anyway. He wants other people the gifts to be utilized and let them shine. All right. I'm not supposed to be doing everything anyway. I'm not supposed to be doing it. And so I want with direction from Him about what I should be doing, I get very clear. Very, very clear. And then I go to work on those things because this is what I can do in this moment. All right. So just to review, remember the who. Is it who? Yep, who. It might not be you. You might not have the strength to do it on your own. It might not just be you, God. You might have to ask your Heavenly Father to help you out, and you might ask Him, well, who can you connect me with? Who am I connected to that would be better at this than me? All right. So it's not you. Stop going it alone. Stop trying to know new friends it out here. I know that's what the people telling you. Don't get you no new friends. I'm not saying that. I am asking now. We can dig into this though. I am asking God to help me discern what it really means to call someone my friend, right? And so once I'm clear on the criteria of what it looks like, and it doesn't necessarily look like knowing you for a long time. All right. That's just not enough criteria for me to say it's okay for me to do life with you. Okay. Still love you. Okay. Never taking away the love, but just the daily ins and out of life, we just won't do those things together. And it's okay. And guess what? People ain't thinking that we hold on relationship because we like so and so gonna be mad at me. They not gonna lie. People ain't thinking about you. They really aren't. People are not thinking about us the way we think they. Guess who they're thinking about? Themselves. They're thinking about them, just like you think about you. Like you consider you. It's part of who we are. So you're thinking that if I do this, this is going to happen. This person's going to feel this way. That person might not even notice. They're so busy doing their life and doing them and thinking about them that the very thing that you think they're going to take a certain way, they're not even thinking about you like that. They really aren't. So you just focus on treating people well and excellently, right? Because that's what God called me to do. So I'm not going to be out here be disrespecting you, calling you out your name and all this type of stuff. But I don't owe you to answer my phone every time you call. I don't owe you that. I don't owe everybody that. There are some people that I will stop this live right now if they called me and said, hello, I'm on YouTube live. Can I call you right back? Okay. But it is because they have been, it's a mutually reliant relationship. All right. It's mutual. We have mutual deposits and mutual withdrawals in different seasons. All right. So it means they got a whole lot of money in this bank. All right. And some people's accounts are on red. All right. So just know relationships are a series of deposits and withdrawals, and it's okay. All right. I also want to say this is the reason I'm probably getting up. This to be another topic for a different day. We got to get more honest with people about what we need. A lot of times we're expecting that we're saying no new friends and we mad at so-and-so because they didn't do what we thought they should have did. And they didn't even know you thought they should have did. They don't know why you thought they should have did it because you never communicated it with them. We don't tell people what we need and then we get upset when they don't meet our expectations, which I say is unfair because you haven't given them an opportunity to decide if they're even able to do that for you, right? Because we're going around with these expectations based on how we would have did it. And they don't know what you're expecting. But now once I say, hey, listen, as a friend, I really would, like to, like a friend, I'm mad because you didn't answer my call. Hey, listen, it matters to me, to my friends. I'm able to reach you, check on you, you check on me. We ain't got to talk every day. But if that's what I need in a friendship, I'm okay with it. And I'm going to share that with my friend. And if the friend can't do it, okay, great. God gonna send me some friends that can. All right. So interdependence, who is not me, who is either God or the people that he's sending me, the resources he sent to me. Okay, who is it? What? All right, what can I do right now? Just because I can't do everything I need to do, what can I do right now? When? What is it that I need to learn so that eventually, at some period, appointed time in the future, I will be better. I will have mastered it. I will my skills will improve. All right. What are those skills? Let me get to work. And what can I do right now with what I have? Because God will bless your consistent action. He's not gonna bless this. Ooh, child. Here we go. Okay. We're sitting up here, we asking God, oh, God bless me, give me more money. This is how I have to check myself when it comes to these taxes, baby, because I sloppily get these taxes done every year. Every year, my tax person can tell you, who's a close friend of mine, I'm running through here trying to grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this. That's one of my resolutions in the new year. I'm going to be a better record keeper of what I'm doing financially, so that when it comes time to file taxes, I'm not running around here trying to grab all these things so that she can prepare my taxes, right? But I'm asking God to bless me more financially. Why? So God is waiting on me. He waiting to say, I'm going to, keep good records of what I'm doing. And I'm going to, keep these things in line so that you can trust me with more. All right. I don't know how I got there. I'm sorry. We were on win. Just keep getting better. Okay. He got to bless your consistent action. So there's something that you could do today that 10 years ago, you wouldn't have dreamed that you would be able to do. All right. So always be getting better every single day. Where, all right, maybe you pouring into the wrong vessels, wrong cups. You giving all this energy, and that's why you feel limited. And that's why you're running out of energy. Okay. Why? Why does it matter if you do it? Why the enemy want to see you stopped? Why? Whose life is going to be affected when you do it, and whose life is going to be affected if you never figure it out? All right. And how? Look for what's possible. Think more. Not I can't, but how can I? All right. Woo, child. That's all I got. 36 minutes later. That's all I have, y'all. So this is what I want to encourage you to think when you feel like you can't. I'm not denying that there are times where we wonder if we'll have the strength. I'm not denying that sometimes we might not have the energy we need to produce. All right. But the words I can't, and everything that comes with it, the helplessness, the powerlessness, the lack of suitability, all of these things that come with the word I can't, what we're saying I can't. We don't want to invite any of that in our life. All right. So we always want to speak life. So I want to just challenge you to, in advance, think of what are some things you can say instead of I can't. All right. So I gave you the criteria to run it. Go ahead and get your words together. All right. So that when you hear yourself saying, I can't, dot, 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 you say, oh, nope, I can't, but I know somebody who can. I can't right now, but I'm getting better every single day. All right. So you think about those things when you want to use the word. The last thing I want to say is we are having the final Happy New Year Now webinar of the year. We are looking forward to our start date for the next cohort is January the 1st. I can't think of a better way to start your year than working on these habits, okay? These daily habits. There's a whole process for it, and I talk about that in my webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you want to register and you really want to know what are the things that have you starting and stopping, all right, setting these goals year after year after year after year, but never achieving them. If you really want to know what those things are, come see me tomorrow at the Happy New Year Now webinar. If you really want to keep from being in the same place last year, if December 27, 2024, you want to be in a different place and you want to be, better then than you are now, not saying the same resolutions year after year. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is go to happynewyearnow.com to register, happynewyearnow.com and register. I almost considered changing my domain for the new year, and I was like, not. It's a happy new year all year long, and it's never a time that you need to wait, and that's the messaging behind it. It's happy new year when you say. It's happy new year when God gives you the revelation that there's an area of your life that isn't optimal, and He wants to move you from here to here. All right, and we don't have to wait until January. We don't have to wait until the Monday. We don't have to wait till the first of the month. We don't have to wait. All right. We can start whenever we get ready. All right. So it just so happens that Monday is a new year, and we're gonna ride the wave of that excitement. But if you want to go beyond the wave of the excitement, right? 'Cause I'm telling you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you tomorrow the reason why we go to the gym and that thing is packed out, January 1st through the 17th. Full. When I used to go to the gym, I used to be so mad at the first of the year because I've been here, even when I was a fluffy girl. I've been here. I have been here every day, and you are on my treadmill, sir. and I started learning. I said, just give them about 4 more weeks. But the truth is, most people quit by the end of the first week. So the honest to God truth is, on January the 8th, we'll be having this conversation. There will be some people who have given up on their goals already, with 51 more weeks to go in the year. I want to show you why that is and how that doesn't have to be you. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at the webinar. There's no expense to come. It's a great time. Happy New Year now. Register, and I'll see you guys next week. I probably will do a live on Saturday too, because God gave me some things. I don't want to commit. But Wednesdays, I will be here. Wednesday, I will be. The time may vary, but the day I'll be here. And as I get into my new year and get my goals setting and my schedule, I have a consistent time where we can come here every week and learn about the power of these words. All right. I pray that y'all have an amazing evening. I have enjoyed myself. This is so much fun. I don't know why I didn't have a YouTube channel years ago. Okay. This is so much fun to me. I have enjoyed y'all. If this blessed you in any sort of way, make sure you share with a family member, a friend, and subscribe so that when I hop on here impromptu, that you will always get my notifications. All right. I love you all the way to life in the best version of yourself. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that jazz, and I will see you next week.